Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. As always, if you're here, please kindly put a like and say hello in the chat so I know that you're present. If you have any questions, ask away and we'll answer them once I'm done covering what's currently happening in crypto. Also, as always, before we begin, you'll be able to find the link to my private page and group where I have basically all the market updates, where I have all my technical analysis, all my swing trades, my investment plan, and everything that I do, my 50 to 100x coins and my gems, it's all in there. The link to that will be in the comments section of this video down below and in the description of this video. Once the live is over, you'll be able to find it there. Anyway, let's see what's happening. So once again, Bitcoin is stuck in range. It still hasn't done anything. It dumped before like $800. People were saying Bitcoin's going to $12,000. Soon we do not go to $12,000 soon, and then whenever we pump another $1,000, which is a significant move, all of a sudden everybody started saying that we're heading to new all-time highs. So basically typical crypto Twitter behavior, nothing new. The range hasn't broken up, hasn't broken down. You know what our expectations are. We're waiting to see what the market does. The range has to end, and we know that the ranges end. Like the range before that lasted for like roughly 250 days. This range has been there for over 200 days also. But one thing we know about ranges, historically, every single range ends sooner or later. So whatever happens, the move will be big and significant in whichever direction it goes. And depending on which direction it goes, we're going to act accordingly in accordance with our main strategy, the Millionaire Spreadsheet. Once again, if you're not part of that Millionaire Spreadsheet, it's only $5, and I highly recommend that every single person in crypto joins. The whole point of it being so cheap was that so everybody can afford it and basically become financially free. Ethereum stuck in a range, XRP stuck in a range. We have a lot of people out there predicting different prices for this year. So I do crypto 24/7. This is my full-time job. I'm a full-time crypto, and I analyze charts nonstop. I look into projects, read white papers. I'm in paid groups, and I'm in Telegram groups. I'm reading white papers out there, researching projects. This is what I do 24/7, 365, right? And one of the things that is very predominant right now on Twitter is that XRP is headed to anywhere around $100 this year in 2023, and that Bitcoin is headed to at least $70,000 because that means that it would be a new all-time high for Bitcoin. So these are very strong narratives that have been taking place all year long. We already have only about 2 months remaining now in this year, and people are still shilling these narratives, although some, as I predicted in the beginning of this year, are already shifting their focus to next year. So, at the beginning of this year, I did tell you nonstop that we are now going to see new all-time highs for Bitcoin or XRP this year. And I kept reiterating that XRP is not going to go to $50 or $100 this year, and that Bitcoin is not going to go to $250,000 or $200,000, and that many other coins with the ridiculous price predictions are not going to take place, and that you need to wake up and get a dose of reality, right? Unfortunately, people don't listen. Now, basically, when you read the comments, the same people, because I keep track of this, the same people who in the beginning of the year were saying things like, let's go. Many of them already now are answering under the tweets of these LARPs. Things like, I'm sick and tired of UPS. Nobody cares. You should delete your profile and all that kind of stuff, because now some of them are finally steering awake and realizing that there's no new all-time high coming this year. And that, Bitcoin is not going to $70,000 this year, or especially $250,000 or $200,000, that Ethereum is not going to pump to $20,000 or $15,000, and that XRP is not going to see new all-time highs, and that many coins out there are not going to see new all-time highs this year. There are 2 months remaining, and I think people are now kind of steering awake. And those who haven't steered awake yet, give it 2 months. So now this fantastic narrative is ending, just like I said in the beginning of this year. So the same people who told you this is going to happen this year, now they're telling you it's going to happen in Q1 next year. So maybe if you didn't listen throughout this whole year, maybe start listening now. Maybe stop listening to the drivel backed by technical analysis that these people kept telling you, because as you can see, we're nowhere near new all-time highs for XRP or Bitcoin, and we're nowhere near $200,000 per Bitcoin and etc. the rest of it. So, if you want to do well in this market, you're going to have realistic expectations. You're going to have patience. You're going to have to go along with the cycle, and you can't really time the market, which is why I highly suggest to you once again join my Patreon, get the Million spreadsheet, diversify the different coins, learn how to diversify, how to dollar cost average. Right, the strategy is quite straightforward. The whole point of the strategy is basically you wait for massive crashes. Depending on the coin, it's anywhere from 70 to 90%. If it's an alt, it can be anywhere from 80 to 95%. If it's a mid cap or low cap, it can be anywhere from 95 to 99% crashes. So once the coin is down that much, you start dollar cost averaging with equal amounts, only at new lows without buying higher and without buying where you bought. So you only add the same amount of money that you bought after, let's say, a 90% crash. Now you only buy after a 95% crash from the all-time high. You don't chase the bottom. You stay patient and you diversify, because some of the coins that you bought after major crashes are never going to pump hard. They're going to die, and some coins are going to pump exceptionally well and deliver insane profits. And all of that is only going to happen in your euphoria phase because that's what happens with coins. No coin out there is special. Coins move together. Once euphoria phase hits and it's a full-blown bull market, or what I like to call the take carry profits phase, people start following into everything. Retail floods in. Institutions are basically manipulating the price and the narrative so that people keep buying. Coins are pumping. That's when you find out which coins are winners and which coins are losers. People start referring to these coins that don't perform well as laggards, and they keep telling you that an old season is coming, which never comes. So don't fall for that bullshit. Make sure that once we're in the euphoria phase, you take heavy profits, set trading take profits for every single coin. Make sure that take profit is hit before you get out of the market, and don't buy back until huge crashes. And you only buy back after huge crashes. You don't rotate your profits into laggards, because laggards are not laggards. They're coins that are underperformed. So make sure that you take profits on them, even if the coin is only up, let's say 200%, while you wanted it up to be 5,000%. 200% is still good. If a coin underperformed, it underperformed. You have to still make sure to get out in great profit. You can't live in the fantasy world hoping that institutions are going to come in and save you and pump the markets. In the last two cycles, I kept reiterating to people that take heavy profits to get out of the markets. Institutional adoption is not coming. The use case is not going to save you. No, like we're about to top. Don't just chase the top, just sell high enough. All you have to do was buy low, sell high. And many people didn't want to listen to me, because the majority of market participants, they come in after Bitcoin reaches its all-time high. So they're already buying high and serving as exit liquidity. The same thing is going to happen in this cycle. I'm sure when many of the newcomers come, once again, and they will not be listening to what I'm saying, because I'll be telling them the brutal reality. The brutal reality is that I'm going to be telling them all that you're late market participants. We're using you as exit liquidity. You're getting dumped on by people like us who are buying at anywhere from 70 to 99% crashes. You're buying after 1,000 to 10,000% pumps. We're selling after 1,000 to 10,000% pumps. You're late to the party. Await major crashes. Only buy then. Of course, nobody wants to do that, because that means they're going to have to wait a very long time. They want a piece of the action, so they start FOMOing, and they never sell, because they also want 1,000, 10,000% pumps, which never come. After 1,000, 10,000% pumps have already happened. They get used as exit liquidity. They become bag holders, and they buy close to the top or the peak, and then they're down 90% and all pissed off, call crypto a scam, and go away. Whereas the truth and reality is that crypto is not a scam. They're just idiots who have no idea how to invest and fall for emotional narratives, who fall for the news, who fall for the narratives like keep buy the dip or dollar cost average. People have no idea how to dollar cost average. They randomly dollar cost average. You should never randomly dollar cost average. You should dollar cost average only after huge crashes, only at new lows, and then we get equal amounts of money. And you should not. You should never buy the dip, because buying the dip might work two or three times, but then the fourth time that buy the dip becomes a huge major crash, which is 90%, which is why you should not buy the dip, because every single time you're buying the dip, you're buying a potential crash. So you should be buying in accumulation phase, which is currently here right now. There are many coins that are in accumulation phase. There are many coins that can be bought right now. Coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are out of the accumulation phase. My members and I have bought much lower than the current prices, and if we're going to add again, we're going to only add at new lows, which means the market would have to crash. Otherwise, we're holding our entries and waiting for more whenever the euphoria phase hits. There are, however, many altcoins that are still down 90 to 95 and 99% or 97% or 98% that are scarce, that have great potential to pump, that have all basically the right green ticks. There are many of them in my $99 tier on Patreon, which I believe are going to deliver 50 to 100x profits. So once again, the link to that is going to be in the description of this video and the comments down below once this live is over. Highly suggest that you join the $99 tier and diversify into these coins. Because I can just name a few coins that I've named publicly before. The gems that are in there are like coins like XGC, HBAR, QNT, and many, many other coins I believe are going to do well. Many coins that are not talked about. Another coin that we talked about publicly is RDR, which did 500% from our entry. And of course, once it did 500%, you had people ask me, should we buy now, Rob? Of course, you should not buy. The thing is, when it was down a lot, nobody wanted to buy because it was red and people kept wanting to buy the bottom. Same thing happened with another coin that pumped 800%. People did not want to buy it while it was down a lot because they wanted to buy the bottom, whereas all you had to do was buy after a major crash and hold. And of course, you missed out on that coin also. But there are many coins that are still down right now a lot and have not moved. So join the $99 tier and buy some of those gems. Not some, buy all of those gems because some of these gems are going to go absolutely insane in the bull market. It's like basically when I was buying VT and BNB back in the day, VT did 80x and BNB did 100x for me. Although both coins pumped much more from bottom to the top, but I've never been able to buy the bottom and sell the top. So that's just impossible to do consistently, at least. Just make sure that you're basically diversified into different coins with different narratives. Buy some gaming coins, AI coins, exchange coins, DeFi coins, utility coins with different use cases, meme coins, NFT coins. Make sure you get some blue chips, mid caps, low caps, and make sure you don't favor one coin over another. Be patient because this year you're not going to see $100 XRP, you're not going to see a $15,000 Ethereum, and you're not going to see a new all-time high for Bitcoin. I think it's starting to dawn on people that that's the case. Because now there are only 2 months remaining, and many of these influencers who were telling you about that narrative are now shifting to Q1 next year. It's not going to happen Q1 next year either, so they're going to shift it to Q2. So Q2 doesn't happen, they're going to shift it to Q3. They're just going to keep basically shifting the goalposts because that's what they do, right? They just have to get your clicks, likes, views, and they get paid at the end of the day off your views, and they have to make sure that you're entertained. The only reason to keep you entertained is by telling you that huge pump is coming, or telling you that I don't know, that this Ripple event is going to pump the price of XRP, or that Ripple event is going to pump the price of XRP, or this partnership is going to pump the price of XRP, or that the fact that banks are adopting Bitcoin is going to pump the price, or that BlackRock wants to invest into some coin is going to pump the coin. So they're going to keep telling you this nonsense because, once again, they're creating content and they get paid because you watch the content. They have to make sure that you're entertained and that you're excited. They have to make sure that you get your dopamine fix. And then there's this me, right? Rob was telling you that none of that is going to happen, which is exactly why I don't have as many subscribers as they do, because I don't make my money off views. I make my money, the majority of my money, overwhelming majority of my money, I made by investing into crypto and actually becoming financially free. And probably around like 30% of my net worth by now is off my Patreon. But there's nothing wrong with having a Patreon because, I've proven already in 2 cycles that my strategy works, and I've been able to make sure that people achieve financial freedom. And we're going to do it once again. Just this 3rd cycle, I'm going to make sure that I'm getting paid for it because I'm good at it. And that's that. Like, the thing is, I don't need views. I don't need, how would you say this? I don't need to monetize my YouTube, monetize my Twitter to make sure that I get paid. So what I can say is that just be patient. Be patient, my friends. The range is going to end sooner or later. If the market crashes out of that range and goes down a lot, we'll see if we get new lows. We'll dollar cost average according to the million spreadsheet. If the higher low in Bitcoin holds on, the range breaks up and we start making higher highs and higher lows once again, we're going to wait until the market goes high enough and start setting trading take profits and laddering out with profits. Very simple, straightforward, no reason to complicate it. As for XRP swing trades that I keep repeating, we'll only execute those if we get some fantastic entries. Remember that every single trade begins like this. Bad entry results in a bad trade. Mediocre entry results in a mediocre trade. An okay entry results in an okay trade, and a fantastic and good entry results in a fantastic and good trade. Therefore, the only way we can maximize the chances of making sure that we get great profits with XRP swing trades is if we get great entries. We do not chase entries. We'll let the entries come to us. Same thing that happens with investing. When the market was topping and I was saying that it's time to get out, people told me that I sold basically just before everything is to blow up and pump higher, and that basically this time nothing is going to crash, that everything is going to keep pumping due to institutional adoption and all that usual nonsense, kindergarten level nonsense, right? So what happened is that I said no, that's not going to be the case. I'm just going to wait for the crashes, no matter how long it takes. I said I don't care if Bitcoin even goes to $120,000. I don't care if I miss out on pumps because I already made life changing profits and the risk reward is no longer worth it. I would have to be an idiot not to sell, and I would have to be an idiot to try and catch the top, which is something that I'm not, thankfully. So I sold and I got out. I sold 7 out of my 9 coins. The other 2 did not deliver. I did very well. And I got out and I waited for the crashes, and the crashes came, the same crashes. So we had what people saying that basically when I was saying that I'll be buying Bitcoin, let's say take Bitcoin after roughly a 70% crash, 80% crash, and 90% crash from the all-time high. People told me it's not going to happen because historically Bitcoin never went below its last all-time high, which was $20,000 this time around. And there was this huge narrative shilled by huge big accounts on YouTuber accounts and on Twitter with huge accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers and sometimes over a million. They were saying that it's never going to happen because it never happened before. Now I said that this is a narrative, and I don't believe in narratives. That my number one metric in this market is percentages, and according to percentages, we are going below $20,000 for sure. What happened? We went below $20,000. Bitcoin went to as low as $15,000. And we bought after a 70% crash and 80% crash, and we have now roughly a 90% crash where we will add. We will only add if that crash comes. If that crash does not come, we're sidelined with that specific entry. The capital we have on the side is never invested, and we miss out with that part of our portfolio, which does not matter because anyway, you should not have all your money in the market. And you should not be forcing entries. If the huge crashes come and the higher low does not hold, we will get our entries. If not, too bad. Remember that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get every single entry. You don't have to catch the bottom. You don't have to hit every single price target. You don't have to time everything perfect. All you have to do is buy low, sell high, preferably buy very low, sell very high, and be good at what you do. That's all that's requested of us in this market. We just have to make life-changing money. We do not, if you came to this market, let's say, and right now you're hoping to make $1 million a cycle, but you only made, I don't know, $450,000, and the market's looking toppy. It's time to sell. It doesn't matter if you didn't make $1 million. You still made life-changing money. You come out, you get out with $450,000, and now you have to understand that next time around during the next cycle, the pump for you to make $1 million that you wanted to make, right, is now tiny, right? You literally need like 100-something% pump now to make the $1 million you wanted to make. Think of it that way, right? Do not basically leave huge amounts of money on the table simply because you do not make the money you hoped to make. If you don't believe me, there are many people and individuals who said this in the first cycle, second cycle, and it's going to be said again in this cycle, right? You can find these individuals on crypto Twitter. People were saying that I wish I had listened to Rob when he was saying that it's time to sell. I wish I had listened when he said set a trailing, take profit, and get out of the market full with your bag if it's hit. People did not listen. They argued. They gave me many different theories and narratives. I did not want to take profits. I know people, like I know a person who's my Patreon member who had like 2.1 million of in unrealized profits. His life would be changed. He could retire for life. Unfortunately, he did not take profits because he decided at the end that he's going to start listening to an individual who had way more followers than me and had a paid group who was telling him that the coins are going to keep pumping, that Tel is still going to do another 10x, that Bitcoin is going to do another 2x, that Ethereum is going to do another 3x. So unfortunately, listen to that individual who's now extremely silent and only sometimes appears in CT. This individual in the first cycle completely disappeared and then only appeared once the bull market began. He has this pattern that he's going to keep repeating, and he's going to do it all over again in this cycle, and people are going to fall for his bullshit. So unfortunately, it is what it is. I can't help everybody. I just hope some people listen and take profits this time around. And I hope that people right now are not depressed or down. Yes, the market might crash much further. Yes, we might get some terrible news, which will scare the shit out of people. But the thing is, you should understand that you're blessed to be here right now. Do not be depressed. Understand that you're buying coins after major crashes and the huge discounts. You're not buying coins after 1,000, 10,000% pump because that's when you're going to be getting out, right? I understand that during the bear market, you get tired, and every single time during the bear market, people start doubting that the bear market is going to end, and they start thinking that crypto is going to zero because that's all that you see around. You see red candles, you see negative news, you see that let's say you bought a coin after 95% crash, it crashed another 70%. I understand all of that, right? But you have to look at facts. Every single financial crisis, no matter how bad it was. And let's take the worst one after the Great Depression, which was in 2008. It ended, and it resulted in a major, huge bull market, the longest and biggest bull market in history of stocks. And also, that's when the crypto asset class was invented, and we got the biggest ROI in the history of speculative markets of Bitcoin and other coins, right? So that's the brutal reality of it, right? That you just need to survive the bear market and not think of it as a bear market. Think of it as the accumulation phase. And think of it that you have the opportunity to buy many different coins, some of which will explode very hard in a euphoria phase. And the reason why it's so important to diversify is because some of them will only explode. Just because you think you picked the gem based on whatever it is that you're basing it on does not mean that it's going to explode. Maybe you bought one of those losers that's not going to be doing much. Therefore, you have to really adapt your thinking and make sure that you're getting different coins, right? Don't just have one or two or three favorites. Get at least 10 coins, preferably get like 20, and split your money between these coins evenly. And then take a much smaller amount of money and start buying gems with small amounts of money, because even if it's a small amount of money and they do deliver 50 to 100x profits, that small amount of money will no longer be small for you. It will be significant. Just diversify, give yourself options, maximize your potential to get a lot of money in this market, and make sure that you're patient. Make sure you don't keep falling for this nonsense on the kindergarten level. People telling you that SRP is going to $100 this year, or the Bitcoin is going to go to $200,000 this year. Because when you fall for that kind of stuff, you become disappointed and you start losing interest, right? When your interest should be peaked. And if everything crashes hard and you're buying because you think, like, for example, what is one of the problems with this is, right? Let's say people started buying Bitcoin at $32,000, which was the local top currently, because they believed, like I read what's on Twitter, right? Just like all of you do. They believed that Bitcoin is going soon, right? Those were the words. And now it's been ranging for over 200 days. So it's already did not happen soon. They believe that it's going soon to new all-time highs, right? They believe that it's going to $200,000 this year. So it's hurting people. These narratives are hurting people. Not only people losing interest in whatnot, but many people who don't follow the strategy and the method that we have on our Patreon, right? And the Crypto Coins crew. They're just randomly buying because they get excited. They're emotional. They see that this guy with 300,000 followers using TA is saying that Bitcoin is headed to $200,000 this year based on this and that. And he must know what he's talking about because he has 300,000 followers. And Rob probably doesn't know what he's talking about because he only has 48,000 followers. Followers has nothing to do with this, right? People have to understand that followers, whenever you produce more exciting content that is more entertaining and you're selling people the dream, right? They have a lot of followers. Trust me, if I wanted to have 200 or 300,000 followers on Twitter, I would be able to do it in a year, right? By showing you complete and utter nonsense, which will never happen. Selling you the dreams, right? So you have to understand that the follower count has nothing to do with success rate, right? One of the best people in this, I keep reiterating because I think he's the most like me, and he's one of the very few people that actually is legit in this in this industry, is Tory Corton. He only has around 50,000 followers also, but he has outperformed probably anybody that I know in this market. You know what I mean? Maybe just like two or three people I know that he did not outperform, but he only has 50,000 followers, and the guy is great, right? Like the point I'm trying to make is, you can take some of the worst advice that is taking place in crypto, and they come from people and channels that have like 1 million followers, right? I remember when I was saying don't chase the top and start selling already Bitcoin at like even $45,000, sell some here, then sell some at $55,000, sell some at $65,000. I remember that people were saying, don't sell anything, hold, because we're going to at least $120,000, right? That's the problem. There is no strategy. I would have no problem if they said this: hold, we're going to $120,000, but in case we're not going to $120,000, start setting a trailing take profit. It's okay to have moon targets as long as you make sure you have a backup plan in case they don't come. I have been wrong with price targets, and I will be wrong with price targets in the future. But there's a difference between me. I don't see any influencer talking about this. Trailing take profits, right? You have to have trailing take profits, because I guarantee that most or many or some price targets are not going to be reached, and you're going to be leaving fantastic profits on the table if you don't have a trailing take profit. So let's say I just said, like, let's say instead of, I don't know, let's say for the sake of the argument, instead of XRP going to roughly $10, it goes to roughly $6, right? Let's just say for the sake of the argument. and then it crashes again 90%. So what, now you're not going to take profits, amazing profits. Let's say you bought XRP currently at like 30 cents, 35 cents, 28 cents, right? Let's say you bought it earlier, like we did at 15 cents or 10 cents. So now you're going to leave these amazing life-changing, crazy profits on the table and not take profits because it didn't go to $10 when you've been through a whole cycle and holding for years. Same goes for all the other coins, right? That's why you have to have a trailing take profit, right? So if, let's say XRP is $6, set a trailing take profits of $4.80, for example. And if it's hit too bad, like it didn't go to $10, you still made exceptional money. Sell it $4.80 and get out at $4.80, and then ignore further pumps. Yes, maybe you saw the $4.80 and then goes to $10. Shit happens, my friends. You know what I mean? But the thing is, at least you're not chasing. At least you took the risk, you bought very low and you sold very high. Take the profits and make sure you ignore further pumps and await huge crashes and only buy back after huge crashes and wait. Very simple, straightforward, right? This goes for every single coin out there. No matter how much you like a coin, no matter how much you believe that the price target is going to happen, no matter what the reason is. Once coins start pumping, and they will start pumping, they will eventually start pumping, right? I know that a lot of people right now doubt it. They're doom boys. I know that bears are very popular right now. The coins will pump. The bear market will end no matter how bad it gets, no matter how bad the crashes get. The bear market will end and the bull market will come. The euphoria phase will come. The take a profit phase will come. And when it comes, then you'll be like, oh man, it was so obvious it's going to come. I can't believe I doubted that it's going to come, right? But whatever, that's not the point. Just make sure that you don't keep raising your price targets. Make sure that you're not thinking, oh man, now I reached my target of $200,000, let's say. Now maybe I can make $300,000. Now you're like, oh man, I got to $300,000. What if I can get to $500,000? And then let's say you bring your portfolio up to $450,000, and you're like, I only have $50,000 left to get to $500,000. And then the market crashes 90%. You do not have a trading take profit. It goes back to nothing. You're wiped. The whole cycle and years of your life gone for nothing. What can save you? Trading take profit. So let's say, even if you're waiting for $500,000 now, and then $1 million, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you're raising your trading take profit so that if everything goes down the drain, your trading take profit is activated, and you get out, let's say, with $350,000. For sure, you're out, and make sure you're not buying the dip when everybody's going to be screaming, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Make sure you meet these people and you wait huge crashes, and make sure you only reinvest that money and rotate it after major crashes. Make sure you do not put it into laggards. Make sure you don't listen to people saying, oh, now you can take these profits and put it into this laggard because it hasn't moved yet. No, it's going to move because many coins moved. That's not the case. Cycles end. There are coins that moved and delivered, and there are coins that did not move and did not deliver. Do not listen to these people who tell you to rotate profits and buy laggards, because laggards are not laggards. They're poor performers. They are not going up in the market. They're about to crash and go to shit with the rest of the market, right? Just make sure that you stick to the rules, right? Every single rule that's there in the million spreadsheet, every single take profit, every single trailing take profit, laddering out, everything that's on Patreon is there for a reason. Right? It's not pulled out of a thumb. It's there based on math, percentages, probabilities, fractals of technical analysis, and basically pretty much facts. Please kind of put a like if you're here, my friends. I would appreciate it. Let's see what you're saying. Let's see, my friends, what you're saying. Adrian Mistim is saying, hi, Rob. I wish you a wonderful Saturday. Adrian, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. My friend Mantis Tebogan is saying, hope your day's going well, my friend. Thank you, Mantis. I appreciate it. Hope you and your family are well, too. My friend Shantial Zanwar is saying, Rob, are you trying to gain popularity with contrary predictions? You are better than it, sir. No, Shantial, I'm not. If you've been here for years, you know, I don't know what your point is. If your feelings are hurt by the fact that I'm not the moon boy and I'm telling you that everything's going to pump hard this year, I'm sorry. Go find a channel that sits well with you and is telling you all that claptrap. I'm an investor who's actually made life-changing gains in this part of the cycle. I'm telling you what works, right? And I'm telling you that this year it's not going to happen. What you're waiting for, right? And it's not, and it hasn't happened, right? So I'm not trying to get any If I wanted to get popularity, Chantel, I'll be doing what your favorite YouTubers do. I'll be getting on here and telling you that SRP is going to $100 this year. And when it doesn't happen, I will say it's going to $500 next year. When it doesn't happen, I will tell you it's going to $1,000 a year after that. And I will give you ridiculous price predictions. I'll get a lot of subscribers. I would monetize your views and gain a lot of popularity. I'm here to make sure that my members and I make money, and that I make life-changing money, and they make life-changing money once again for the third cycle. So, Chantel, I hope that answered your question. If you want entertainment, go watch Riddlers. We're here to make money. Will J. Asia saying, good afternoon, brother. Will, it's good to see you here. Will says, don't force entries on the coins that are pumping in the $99 tier. Absolutely, Will. Very well said. Do not force entries on coins that have pumped in the $99 tier. Don't force coins that have pumped in the million spreadsheet. Do not buy green candles. Do not chase pumps. Those are the rules, my friends, right? Buy coins before they move. Shantilal already made many predictions. You want my predictions? Go on Patreon, pay, and you'll find out what my predictions are. Otherwise, you're not getting any predictions from me. Sergio Azevedo, how are you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Thank you for joining. My friend, International Crypto Asset Ninja, happy weekend, my bro. Thanks for the comprehensive Dubai living advice on Twitter. I get a fuller idea now. Cheers, brother. I appreciate the kind word. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I hope you're well. International Crypto Asset Ninja is saying a beautiful place and needs some planning indeed. Not cheap. Definitely not cheap, my friend. Very expensive. Great place. A lot of pros and cons, though. You know, there are a lot of great things about Dubai. I'll live here for a while, but then I'm going to move to a greener place that has more nature. Lilo, hello, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. My friend Sergio Zabito saying, hi, Rob. You have a time frame for the release of the exit plan for SIP? Just curious to see it. Thanks. Sergio, great question, my friend. As I said earlier, maybe you missed it. I want to see whether or not the high low in Bitcoin holds. So I want to see if a high is made or a high low does not hold. So once I see and the range breaks, basically, I'll release it. Please be patient and let the range develop. Let's see if the high low holds and we'll make a high, or if the high low does not hold. That will change a lot in our take profit strategy. Captain Curtis saying, I've been watching for 2 years plus. People begged you to do what you're doing. Patrons, etc. Keep up good work. Captain Kurt, 3+ years actually. Captain Kurt, I didn't quite understand you, my friend. I've been watching for 2+ years. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. All that time has been nice to have you along this journey, but I don't understand what you mean. People begged you to do what you're doing. Patron, etc. Keep up the good work. Captain Kurt, what do you mean, brother? Captain Kurt is saying 3+ years. Yeah. 3+ years is amazing, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for that. Marcus Hart, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you here. Laura Provenzano, hello, my friend. Oh, Laura, aren't you the person who was stuck at the airport drinking, right? I hope that you made it out and you made it safely home, and I hope that you made it to the event. Laura is saying, I don't see an option for $99 here. So when you go on Patreon, you see like the latest tiers, and then you have like this little red box that you can press to unfold all the other tiers. And once you press that, you'll find the $99 tier, Laura. Boom Monster, good to see you here. Thank you for joining. Ken James is saying his point is, why do you keep posting clickbait headlines? It's not that you are giving predictions, but you're using the clickbait to attract the views. What's the difference? Why do it? Absolutely, I am. Yes. What's your point, Ken James? I come here every single time you're mentioning that I use clickbait to make sure that people watch the videos and hear what they need to hear. So it's very different, because I'm not telling you that it's going to happen. I'm not effing you over by telling you that you're going to see new all-time highs for Bitcoin this year, and you should be buying at random prices. I get in here to make sure that people think that they're going to hear regular BS that they're used to hearing, and then they actually hear what they need to hear to make money. So I hope that answers your question, Ken. And you have issues with it, please go someplace else and watch whatever you want to watch. Boom Mansur says, I'm sending you love. Do you see them? The hearts. Yes, I'm seeing the hearts. Thank you, brother. Dan Keo says, Hara, great to catch your live stream again. Thank you, brother. It's good to catch your live stream with you too. I appreciate you joining. All right, my friends, remember, very, very important to stay positive throughout these crashes. It's very important to remember that every single financial crisis, bear market, hence even the Depression 2.0 ended. Remember that bear markets don't last, neither do bull markets, right? Everything moves in cycles. Remember that the bad times will end. Remember that some coins are going to pump. So make sure that you're diversifying and buying these coins after huge crashes. And if you get a chance to buy even at a bigger crash, that you're doing so again by buying low and very low, right? And be patient. It's going to require patience. Coins will move. Many projects will pump. Many people will make a lot of money, but it's going to take time and patience. And it's going to take certain rules and realistic expectations. It's a whole cycle. There's a lot of mental tricks involved. There's a lot of kind of like mental battles with yourself involved. But at the end of the day, you just have to somewhat relax and wait, understand that bad times end, understand that the market is going to transition into a bullish state where we'll be taking profits. The most important part is this: do not concentrate on the fact that the market can crash harder. Just be prepared for it, especially if you have the million spreadsheet. You should be prepared for that. And just wait, because it's going to end. What you should be concentrating on, make sure that you start training your brain now, because we got to the point now where, where people were saying that we're not going to crash, we're not going to get our entries. We got many of our entries. The market did crash. So nobody's arguing about that anymore. That's good. So we got our entries. What's important now is that you should start preparing mentally for when the market starts pumping, that you do not chase the top, and that you do not leave profits on the table, and that you do not start believing that this time is different. Because probably a lot of people right now are believing that this time is different and the bear market is not going to end and that crypto is going to zero. You should not be believing that, because that's what happens every single time after Bitcoin drops roughly 85%. People start believing that this is it, that this time is different. Then the market pumps, everything goes crazy, we make a lot of profits, and people start believing this time is different, nothing is crashing. Then we crash again, Bitcoin down roughly 85%. Once again, people saying this time is different, we're going to zero. It doesn't go to zero, you should have bought, pumps like crazy. Now people are once again saying it's not going to crash. It just rinse and repeat, right? No market is exactly the same. Yes, history does not repeat itself, but it rhymes, right? Keep that in mind, my friends. Perfection is not required in this market. Anybody who's telling you that they're perfect, that they call every single coin, the top, bottom, blah, 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 they're full of nonsense. These people are lying through their teeth and they're LARPs. You are going to get stuff wrong, and that's incorporated into my strategy, right? Some entries are not going to get filled. Some price targets are not going to get hit. Both those things, we make sure that we're safe against them. Some coins are not going to pump. Some coins are going to pump very hard. Some coins are going to pump okay. Once again, we incorporate into the strategy by diversifying and using the diversification method that we have. All that's required is to be patient and see if we get more entries in the million spreadsheet before everything pumps hard. Or if we don't get them, we don't force entries, we'll start taking profits when it starts to take profits. As simple as that, very straightforward. Captain Curtis saying, people kept asking you to create something we could follow your strategies. You're doing this for OG subscribers. I'm sticking up for you. Captain Kurt, thank you, brother. That is very true. And Captain Kurt, thank you for pointing that out, because it's not pointed out very often. How was my course made, right? So for 2 cycles, I was saying everything for free, every single entry, swing trade. For XLM, we had some amazing swing trade last cycle, right? Crazy swing trades we had. Every single time was given for free, right? The XRP journey to 15 cents and all that was given for free. The Bitcoin entries, the BNB, every single call, every single buy, every single sell was given for free on Twitter, on YouTube for 2 market cycles. And then once XRP struck 15 cents, and Bitcoin hit the targets we're looking at, and VT hit the targets we're looking at, and all that, people started saying, wow, Rob is like the hot commodity of XRP community and like other coins. What he talked about happened. And people asked Rob, can you release a course and teach us? This was asked many, many times nonstop. And I thought, why not, right? I'll make money off it, and people will make money off it. And I released the course. So anybody who's upset about it, don't buy the course. I don't care. People who call me a scammer just because I have a course, that's just an idiot mindset. Like, what do you have to prove that I'm a scammer, right? I'm one of the most legit people in this cycle, in this industry, along with Tori Court, right? I get on here and tell you the stuff that nobody wants to hear. If it upsets you that I have a course, and don't buy it. Go someplace else, listen to Riddlers, go into a trading group, lose all your money, right? Like, I don't care if you like it or not. It is what it is. Captain Kurt is saying, enjoy your weekend and family. Thank you very much, Captain Kurt. I appreciate it, brother. Hope you and your family are well too. Hope you're safe and enjoy your weekend. Susie Isle of Man is saying, hi, Rob. What's a decent amount to invest in the $99 program? Thanks. Also, there are many coins left on the table to buy. Susie, Isle of Man. Will, you're from the Isle of Man, right, my friend? Will, a friend of mine, we basically met here in Dubai, became friends. We'll hope to see you once again. If you're still here, say hello. Like you did earlier on, is also from the Isle of Man. The amount I say that you should invest into $99 coins is what you consider to be small. For me, like roughly even more than 90% of my portfolio is in a million spreadsheet, and about like 10% roughly is in the $99 tier. I invest with small amounts of money. What is small amounts of money for me? It's anywhere from $500 to $3,000 per coin. How do I decide it? Is it because I think one coin has more potential to pump, or no? No, it has nothing to do with that. It's depending on basically if I had trades, how the trades went, how much money I have right now, what I feel like, and all that. How much do I feel like I can throw at the coin? That is not a lot at this point in time. Sometimes $500, sometimes $1,000, sometimes $3,000, but I make sure it's no more than $3,000 ever, because well, more than that would be a lot for me. It's as simple as that. So what you should invest into $99 coins is what you consider to be small amounts of money, not even okay amounts, decent amounts, definitely not big amounts, small amounts, whatever it is. If it's only $100 per coin, you only go with $100 per coin. Laura Provenzano saying, yes, I made it. Love your honesty and straightforward approach. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And I'm glad to hear that you made it. Hope you enjoyed it. Because it was pretty crazy, the downpour in NYC and whatnot. I remember that many people were upset, but I'm glad to hear that you made it. Well done. Marcus Hart is saying, I just joined your Patreon. I'm excited. I'm just looking to make extra money outside of my job. That's all. I've been watching you for years now. You're very legit as a trader and a man in general. Thank you very much, Marcus Hart. I appreciate it, my friend. I'm glad that we have a new member. Thank you for joining, and we absolutely will. All that's required is to be patient, my friend. We have to wait for your face to hit. Once that happens, we're going to be taking heavy profits home. Before that happens, we're going to be executing swing trades with XRP, but we're going to have to be patient to make sure we get great entries. Captain Kurt is saying Marcus Hart, exactly. He's one of the most legit. Captain Kurt, thank you very much. I appreciate the kind word. Will is saying, hi, Susie from the Isle of Man. Hope you're well. Yeah, there, Will, you're here. Sorry, my friends, remember, patience is required. Whether or not we'll like it, patience is required. Remember that we can't force the market to do what we want it to do. All that's we have to do right now is be patient and see whether or not the high low in Bitcoin holds. Currently, there's nothing to suggest that it won't hold. Currently, the market has done what it has always done. Bitcoin crashed roughly 85% after roughly 400 days, has been making highs and higher lows since then. The higher low in the macro is holding. If the higher low does not hold, then we have something different. That means that probably 15,000 is not going to hold. And if that does not hold, that means that the low is not in. And that means that the market cycle is like, if the market cycle is lengthening, that means it's going to take longer for the market to develop and new all-time highs to hit. Market becomes longer, basically, because it took longer for the bottom to come in. Currently, once again, there's nothing to suggest that that's happening. The higher low is holding. As long as the higher low in the macro and Bitcoin is holding, we're still doing what we have always done, give or take. History doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. Boom Mansur is saying, Rob, yesterday I sold 5% of my SRP bag and diversified. Man, it was hard. It hurts, but I did it. Spread that on my million spreadsheet that got good entries. Thanks, Rob. Boom Mansur, well done. Right? Well done. I'm very, very glad to hear that you did that. There's nothing wrong with it, my friend. You have still a lot of XRP. You only sold 5%. You still have a lot of XRP pumps. You make money with XRP. But there are going to be, like, I promise you that there are going to be coins in a million spreadsheet. They're going to pump harder than XRP, right? So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No, you should give yourself a pat on the back, the fact that you're more diversified and that you got some great entries, because you deserve them with discipline and patience, my friend. So well done. Good move. Marcus Hart is saying, Captain Kurt, absolutely. He's a great guy. I've been following him on YouTube and Twitter. What attracted me to him is that he's a normal guy, just like us. He's extremely humble. He's a godsend. Wow, that's such a beautiful message, Marcus. Thank you. Thank you. That's very, very nice of you. And absolutely, I'm a very standard, usual guy. Nothing special about me. And I guess I just learned from my mistakes and applied that, what has worked for me. I've been fortunate enough to figure it out, and now I teach it because I want to help people, and I want a lot of people to make money and get out of great profits. At the same time, I make money, they make money, and everybody's happy. There's nothing wrong with that, I believe. Is there anything else to mention? Is there anything else to mention? Remember, my friends, a very, very important factor, right? Remember that the million spreadsheet starts with us putting, with us roughly having a year to put all this capital together to buy the massive crashes that we bought, right? Not all of them, but a lot of them. If you have sideline capital that you put together, you do not inject the sideline capital into the market, because if we get hardcore crashes and new lows, you won't have money to dollar cost average, and that means that when people who do follow the strategy and did not force entries do have the money to bring down their average and buy new lows. These people, when the market bounces starts going up, they won't be breaking even like you. They'll be making money. And then once the coin goes further, they'll be making great amounts of money, and you'll just be starting just to make money because you just broke even recently. So remember, that's why it's so important not to force entries. Do not force entries. If you're following the Nonia spreadsheet, you have no reason to force entries, right? I said right from the get-go when we started the Patreon that we're not going to get all the entries and that we're not going to get all our price targets. There's no problem with not getting all the price targets because we're going to have trading take profits, or we won't be rotating profits until huge crashes or rotating into laggards. So it's fine. And at the same time, we do not need to get every single entry, right? We do not need to FOMO, right? We do not need to force every single penny that we have to invest into the market because we already have fantastic entries on many coins, right? We bought many coins after roughly 90 and 95% crashes and even more. Some of the entries on some coins are fully filled, right? So don't force entries. There literally is no reason to force entries except greed. The fact that you want to put more money into the market, gamble, and potentially make more if the gamble pays off. But this is gambling. It's not following the plan. It's not following the strategy. It's not being disciplined. It's not having emotional control, right? The moment you start deviating from the plan and you allow yourself to make emotional decisions, you're just going to start making more emotional decisions down the road. If, for example, now you buy when you're not supposed to buy, that means you're going to want to sell when you're not supposed to sell. What do I mean by that? If, for example, right now you have money to buy a certain entry and you force it now, this changes your mindset and it gives you a bad habit. This means that when market pumps hard, instead of taking profits, now you'll wait for the market to keep going up to make more money, right? Which is not good. That was not the plan. You have to follow the plan. You have to make sure you buy in accordance with the plan. You have to make sure you sell in accordance with the plan. Of course, we have our safety cushions like the trading take profit. But the point I'm trying to make is do not start deviating and start making emotional decisions, because emotional decisions lead to bad habits. Bad habits lead to bad investment decisions. Bad investment decisions lead to losing money. And we're here to make money. We have to be like computers. I keep reiterating this. We have to be like computers, right? We have to follow the plan. Imagine we have no emotions. We can do nothing but follow the plan. We see numbers, we execute. We take a certain amount of digits, we'll put it into the market because we saw a certain amount of digits on the screen at a certain price. We don't see that price, those digits, the fiat that we have sidelined is not touched. That's it. But imagine as an investor, you literally can't do it. You're a program, you have to follow the program. You cannot get hacked. You cannot have a virus that can force you to do that. It's 100% solid. You only take the fiat, right? That's your, and you only put it at a certain entry. No entry, fiat not touched. Very simple and straightforward, my friends. Only touched if you see the entry. That's it. So please don't force entries. Yeah, let's see if anybody has any questions. Boomansur says, I love you, brother. Same here, brother. Thank you very much for the kind message. Love you guys. Relax says, hi. Relax, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. Juan Wives is here. Says, higher up, if I bought many coins at a much higher price, shouldn't I be buying now to lower my over? You mean to lower your average? You mean if you bought? This is the problem. You see, Juan, my friend. I'll always be honest and straightforward. This is the problem, right? That I wish that people always listen from the beginning, right? So the fact that you bought at higher prices, right? That's the problem. That's called random dollar cost averaging, right? So the fact that you bought at higher prices, this now means that you somehow have to fix the problem, right? The problem being that you bought where you should not have bought, right? Before major crashes. You only buy after major crashes. And if you're able, if there's a further big crash, you buy again, right? At new lows. The best way to deal with this problem, my friend, is leave that in the past, right? Mistakes are made, leave that in the past. Some problems can only be fixed by finding a new approach, right? So if you bought at higher prices, you're now still trying to fix the same problem. Leave that problem alone. Start investing in accordance with the strategy that works. Because if you're buying randomly now to bring down your high average where you bought, well, that's not following the plan. And I would be a hypocrite and a liar to tell you that you need to do that, because then you're following the plan. You see what I mean? So, Juan, what can I say? I'll be honest with you, and I'll say that follow the plan, and only go with entries that are in the middle in your spreadsheet or in the $99 tier. And if you get better entries, even better. But do not force entries on coins that have already moved. You should not be buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, or XRP here in accordance with the plan, because we bought much lower. Why would I tell you to buy at prices where I did not buy? Right? Like, that would be not nice of me. You know what I mean? That would not be nice of me. I would be a liar telling you what you want to hear. Juan, so I'm not telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear, my friend. Juan, I know that you're a part of the Patreon, and thank you for the wonderful question. But the truth is, please only execute targets and buys in accordance with the strategy, my friend. Juan, did you get the entries? You know, it's roughly 70% crash and 80% crash for Bitcoin and so on and so forth. I hope you did. I hope you did. I love this exchange between Susie and Will. All right, my friends. Thank you very much for joining the live. I appreciate your time. It's been 51 minutes. Please kindly put a like, so at least people see my video, and there's some kind of chance of people seeing my videos that they need to hear, and not the constant Moonboy videos that they keep seeing simply because people keep liking their nonsense. So maybe give Rob a chance, guys. Please put a like. It's going to help with the views. Thank you very much for your time. I wish you all an amazing Saturday. I wish you all a great weekend. I'm sending you lots of love, positivity, and wish you all the very best. All the best to you and your loved ones. Bye-bye.